like Michael Fran, just trying to understand all the positive and negative and give it its place. Coming to the conclusion that we all the same race. We're just humans, so what we're doing, trying to segregate things, break things, to help the shit, just make things happen until clapping is nothing but the sound of applause. Celebrating we succeeded in the cause like that, y'all. Finally we're away.
Okay, so we just have the start of round number 7, heat number 1, and this is with Brian Lake in the lead, Gunnar Binyash in second, and then we've got 2 Cabrinas. We're missing Castel. Looks like Castel did not make it to the start in time. So that's a big rookie mistake. It's going to give an opportunity for one of those 2 Cabrinas, maybe Rogue or Touchman or Spang. My money's on Christian Rogue. He's a seasoned veteran. He's been coming to these PKRA racing in Germany for years, and he's joined us for the slalom. So Brian's taking a commanding lead. And looks like the battle is going to be in the back for third. Okay, Gunnar's going around the mark, a wide turn. And we've got the 2 Cabrinas coming up in the back. So we're going to go really back-to-back on these races. The sequence of men number 2 is already started as they're rounding the 3rd mark. Looks like Brian's going to cruise to a victory, followed by Gunnar and then I believe Christian or Spang. It's hard to tell. Freestylers are still on hold. We're hoping to get some nice little 15 knots to get the main event started. And we got Detlef coming around the mark. So we got red flag up for heat number 2. And it looks like we've got Brian coming towards the finish. Alright, so Brian won the last final. So if he gets another victory, he's going to be right up there with Julian Kerner, who I believe has four wins, and Brian will have 3 wins. So it would come down to the discards. They would have equal points in the discards, and then it would go to the next best result. And they all have seconds except for Julian Kerner, who has a DSQ. So if it really comes down to that DSQ could become a factor. No. And we got Gunnar Binyash coming across the line. And our 3rd place rider.
And that is Binyash. And I'm just joining you here, Antoine. Sorry I was a little absent at the start there. Getting some other stuff done, but we've got... glad to hear you holding down the fort. So that was our first race. We've got, who was crossing in first place then?
That was our Brian Lake, and we got the 2nd race just under 30 seconds to go.
Still some of our fleet crossing the finish line from our first round here in our first heat of round number 6. So doing 4 rounds today.
4 rounds, yeah, the maximum. And looks like the start is off. See if we can get confirmation from our race director that we have a clear start.
All
All clear. And we've got who in this fleet? It looks like Adam, Florian, and
we've got a Cabrera up front. I'm not sure who that is.
nor am I. And how about, so that's Adam Withington on the yellow ozone. Green kite, I believe, is Florian Gruber. Is that right?
RD is Marcis. The Fly Surfer is Capel. And that Cabrera is... I believe it is Christensen. Christensen.
Ah, Christiansen.
Christiansen.
Oh, Christiansen. My German is not that great either. Christiansen.
We're not even sure if he's German.
Christensen. I'm going to take a guess that he is. He is riding a fly surfer.
No, the Cabrera.
The Carina guy. It does say fly surfer here next to his name, however. But he is doing quite well in this round. But he is in 4th place now. So he has been passed. And it looks like Florian Gruber is leading the charge on this race 2 of round 6. Florian's been doing quite well throughout the day.
Well, not as good as yesterday. He's still... I think he's due for another 3rd place finish.
Yeah, he did really well. I just chatted with Oswald Smith, Ozzy, back in during the break just a few minutes ago, and he was just saying that the racing is super, super competitive. They're all just flat out, just non-stop pinning it throughout the whole race.
Yeah, same thing. I was talking to Kerner. Said he's done 3 races and he's already toasted.
Yeah, they both were throwing Nutella sandwiches down their throats during the break, trying to get some energy built up for this last 4th and final round of the day here from the Beetle Kitesurf World Cup. On the water, we've got Adam Withington from Mexico leading this heat, followed closely by Florian Gruber from Germany.
And Marcis is in 3rd on RD from Italy. So what do you think? Do you think we're going to get to the freestyle today, or the wind's not going to...
You know, I'm questioning whether it's going to materialize in time. I mean, we've got time. I just don't think it's going to increase that. I mean, there's a potential to do some rounds on big kites, but I don't think it's going to get that windy.
Yeah, I think it's going to start blowing at sunset, and since sunset's at 11 o'clock at night,
yeah,
we'll probably be going to bed by then.
Yeah, for sure. I'm usually in bed by then anyways.
Unless you're dancing at the
at the party, but
at the party,
I have not.
With a Jeever in your hand.
I have not yet.
Showing the kids your 80s moves.
The party is right here, Antoine. Day in, day out on the live stream.
Here comes the finish. And looks like we've got Adam. Adam's really making up ground these past 2 races. He got 3rd place in the last final. And he'd be pretty stoked to get at Julian O'Brien.
For sure. Definitely, he's going to be pleased with that, but you know, ultimately it comes down to the final. It doesn't matter if you finish 1st in every one of your heats prior to the final. It's just what matters is where you finish in the final.
Exactly. And we're pretty close to our next sequence. I think we're 1 minute to the start. I say yellow flag on the boat.
Yellow flag on the boat. And that means just a minute. So who do we have coming up? We've got Kerner, Baumeister, Smith, and Ressig, and Hugenjik.
Woody Cookie.
Woody Cookie. That's an interesting name. I need to ask him how he got it.
He's a good designer. He comes with some interesting designs.
Definitely.
I see he's making the F2 board. He's designing the F2 boards.
F2. I thought F2 was a windsurf brand.
It is, but they also make race boards and kite boards.
and kiteboards. Interesting. Do they do like twin tips, or is it primarily just kind of?
I've mostly seen
stuff?
the racing stuff because it's the same construction as the windsurfing stuff, so it makes sense. Oh, and the race is underway.
Boom! Off the bat, we've got Baumeister looking pretty strong out in front. Followed by Kerner, Ozzie Smith on that red and white and black kite. Interesting to see the mixed bag of kites in this slalom discipline. We see a lot of certain kites in the course racing, and perhaps just because there's only a handful of companies making race-specific kites, but it looks like there's a lot of room for different gear, less specialized gear, I guess. Here, I mean, I don't know if a real high aspect kite is going to give you that big of an advantage off the wind here. I wouldn't be surprised.
I think when we get to the really light winds, when we get to the 6-8 knots, the race-specific kites will give you an advantage around the 18 up. Whether you're riding even a fuel or like a freestyle kite or a boat kite, I think you could still be competitive.
Yeah, I agree.
Because you just need a kite that's fast and sits in the back of the window, and there's a point where that apparent wind gets less and less. And in 8 knots, occurring a lot of apparent wind in 20-25 knots. I don't know if you're going to go much faster around a course than if they're hitting the 35 knots or not.
So Baumeister maintaining his first place position over Julian Kerner and Ozzie Smith. I wouldn't be surprised if those guys just held their positioning right now. As I mentioned, Julian and Ozzie Smith I spoke to just a few minutes ago, both pretty knackered after 3 rounds of racing. So I wouldn't be surprised if these guys just kind of chill out where they are and are content with their placing. It looks like Julian just kind of taking a little stumble around the buoy, clearly
going for a swim,
showing some fatigue. But, I don't think he's super stressed because behind him, is that Woody Cookie on the north?
No. Yeah. No, that is.
Yeah,
that is Woody Cookie.
So I think he's pretty far back there. I don't think Julian has to worry about.
And we saw Smith hold back. He didn't gun for his spot or anything. He could have accelerated above him, and he chose not to. Just wanted to avoid the tangle at all costs and get to that final. Once we get to the final, it's a different story. It's a no-hold-bars kind of contest. Okay, we just had the horn for the women's, so we're 2 minutes from the start of heat number 7 for the women's final. In the last women's final, we saw Boninger and Tatiana getting first and second, but the surprise was Lutz, who was finishing in third, but just ran out of water and hit the beach and got a DNF, which could come back and change results in the end, because this might be the last race. The wind's looking light for the weekend. So we will see.
We've got a lot of freestyle yet to come for tomorrow. I'm not sure if we'll do any racing or not, but is Boninger crossing the finish line first, followed by Julian Kerner.
And Oswald Smith coming in
third.
Looks like all these guys took the foot off the accelerator on this race.
Yeah, really. Saving it for the big one.
Yeah.
So we've got our women's final coming up, and after that, got our men's.
Here comes Woody Cookie across the line, boosting large and in charge.
All right, so what? We've got how much time until the start of that women? It looks like they're already jockeying.
Yeah, we're
not really ready.
I don't see a flag. The flag is down, so we're less than 30 seconds.
Yeah, I see.
Let's see if I can get it to count down on the radio.
And there's our women's fleet right there. The same 4 kites we've seen pretty much every women's final Here are these young ladies. That's Sabrina Lutz on that green North kite. The ozone kite is Tatiana. The fly surfer is Boninger. And orange and blue is best kite is Kristen Boozy.
So we've got an all clear start.
These ladies are just pinning it. Boninger and Lutz out in front with Tatiana close behind, battling with Boozy right now for third and fourth. Still quite early, as we usually see things mix up pretty considerably after that first mark.
We see Lutz is in second already. Usually she waits till the last reach to get to second. Let's see if she's going to keep her lead.
Maybe she has been invigorated by her last result, her last DNF from that round 5.
We got a couple of freestylers on the beach putting up some kites. Looks like some of them are going to give it a go.
Yeah, see some 14s going up.
Alright, so all the girls make it around the mark.
Tatiana, and man, that Tatiana's having a hard time. Some stalling going on with her kite, and she's got a great race kite.
Wow, there she goes. She's going to get her speed up, and she'll catch up, I think, to Christine.
Came too far downwind, I believe. And her kite was back stalling. She's got her work cut out for her, though. Buzzy hasn't been bending over and just giving it to her.
Dave, I don't know if you can say that on TV.
Well, you know what I mean. Come on, don't take it there, Antoine.
Looks like we got some more freestylers pumping up their kites. Alright, Boninger's around the mark. Lutz is around the mark. Christine, just off camera, Christine goes around. And Tatiana is around. So they all make the mark.
Yeah, I think Tatiana she's got some training ahead of her on her transitions around those marks. She seems to be missing out on.
Look at Lutz. She might get Boninger.
She's on her heels.
Yeah.
So right now we've got two nice battles setting up. Right, one between Boninger and Lutz for first, and then Boozy and Tatiana
for third. All right.
For third and fourth.
We've got a critical mark here. There's Christine coming around. Okay, she makes it. Tatiana is going a bit wider.
Tatiana's on a full-on race board, a bit bigger board. I know Christine's on a much smaller, kind of a free race board. So I think now that the wind's picked up, that smaller board could be the call, as Bosie's maintaining that pretty large lead.
Look at her. Tatiana's getting some speed there.
All right, well, what's going on?
Let's see if they're coming around. Okay, Boninger's coming towards the mark.
So Boninger's.
Sabrina Lutz is behind her.
Now, is this for the finish, or are they going to that?
No, this is for the finish. Okay. This is for the finish. And the men are already outside. So here comes Kristen Boninger. Just another bullet for her.
Dominating this women's fleet.
Absolutely.
She is.
And here comes Sabrina.
The one to beat.
So let's see. Hopefully Sabrina doesn't make the same mistake she did last time. It looks like Tatiana.
Whoa. We've got a position change. Tatiana seems to be pinning it a little bit harder than Bozy.
Yeah, let's see if she keeps enough water.
I think she's going to... Oh, my gosh! What is going on? Bozy has just gotten the most luck in the past 2 heats. Both of her competitors just right in front of her, just eating it in the shallow water right before the finish line. And Kristen Bosey getting gifted again, luckily for her. Man, right at the finish line. 2 different competitors, too.
We don't have the right. She may have finished.
I don't know.
Her
angle is quite off. But
it doesn't look like it from here, but maybe she did.
All right, well. We'll have to wait and see. Is there any way we can see if we can get on the horn and get some info for you? I'm going to throw to a quick break. We'll be back with those official results here in just a second. Stick around.
Just one more.
Hits its brakes and pops the trunk, says this you got to see. I got chains and diamond rings, 8 tracks and LPs. Do you like my merchandise? Says still that ain't for me. Just give me the beat. That's all I need. Just give me the beat.
All right, looks like we are getting ready for our men's final here of the last round of slalom competition for the day. This is our 4th round of the day. And these guys are lined up tight.
All right, that was the horn and the flag. It looks like Brian got a perfect start.
Nice start from Brian Lake from the U.S. Looks like Oswald Smith is hot on his tail.
Yeah, and Julian is in the back. Let's see. Julian's really good at the marks. Let's see if he makes a push on the inside. Oh, I think, yeah, Julian just crashed. Ooh. Unless that was Marcy, but Julian is in 6th or 7th right now. Brian first, Oswald second, Baumeister third. Adam and Florian in a tight battle. I would say Adam's got it. Florian, Julian.
Is that Julian or just snuck in?
That's Julian. Yeah, that's his specialty. And it looks like we got a tangle in the back.
Who is it? Ooh, who went down? That could have been Marcis.
It's either Marcis, Kerner, it's Gunnar again, and Christian Rogue, I think, in there.
All right.
So it looks like I'm going to say the door is open for a new second. Somebody's going to get a...
Lake is...
So we got Smith and Baumeister making the biggest push. I'm going to go with Baumeister. Oh, he just crashed.
Oh, nice. Way to call it, Antoine. And Ozzie Smith pretty happy right now if he's going to hold on to this 2nd place. We will see as he's got Adam Withington, Florian Gruber, and Baumeister, rather, I'm sorry, on his tail.
Look at he's coming back up.
And that's the battle right there for 3rd and 4th and 5th. These 3 guys, Baumeister, Withington,
And for the men, the money goes all the way to 5th. There's the glory of the podium, but there's nothing wrong with taking a little cash too.
Cash money talks, especially to these guys. I'm sure they're all looking forward to taking home some bacon. But this is just contributing. So can you talk about how the rounds, your finishes in the rounds, how they're collected and to decide after when the event ends?
So pretty much all the finals, you get a ranking 1 through 9. If you get first, you get 0.7. Second, 2 points, third, 3 points, and so on. Then the more races we get, the more discards we have. So when we get after 3 races, we have 1 discard. Mike, I would want to check the rules before I tell you exactly where the discards are, but I believe once we get to 6 or 7, we're at 3 discards already.
So what about the people who don't even make it into the finals? Where
they get a total point. So if you don't make it into the final, you finish 10th.
Okay. So
and they all finish 10th.
Okay.
So
Gotcha.
So we got Brian coming in.
Clear win for Mr. Brian Lake from the USA. Going for a jump, back roll, as he likes to do.
So this is a big win for Brian and a really bad finish for Julian.
And a very good finish for young Ozzie Smith from South Africa. Super stoked on that.
He's kind of where we were expecting to early. It took him a while to get warmed up. And look at his battle in the back.
What happened right there with Withington crashing in the shallows right there. Just missing, I guess he was going for
and Baumeister just crashed right before the finish.
4th and 5th.
I don't know if he finished. I think Kerner might sneak in.
Yeah, that shallow water playing havoc with these guys. Hopefully Adam's board is in one piece.
Yeah.
As he went down. Oh, I don't think it is. He just looked to toss it in frustration, and I kind of only saw 2 fins, so that could be bad news. So we will have to see how that's gonna pan out. But it is, such is the case when you are in these offshore conditions. You do have to ride that line of knowing where the water is deep enough. And, people want to bear off because you get a little bit faster speed off the wind, but that puts you in more shallow water. So it's a real tough one. But those Adam not looking super stoked, but there's just a little overview. You can see the still blue sky, gorgeous weather here today in Germany, and insane conditions for slalom racing. I'm Dave Taberski here with Antoine Gilbert. Sweating in the sweat box, but pretty much being completely entertained by this intense slalom action. So hopefully you guys are being entertained as well and enjoying it as much as I am. And definitely want to say thanks for being here and let you know what's going on. We just finished 4th round of the day, slalom. That's going to be our last round. We had our first place finish in this last 4th round was Mr. Brian Lake from the U.S. And who else did we have right behind him? We had
Oswald Smith.
Ozzie Smith, followed by...
Actually, we haven't confirmed, but I think Kerner may have finished 3rd.
I don't know. I think it might have been Baumeister actually making it across the finish line. But, some carnage here at the mark. We had both Baumeister and Adam Withington, I think, hitting the shallows and getting tossed over the front right before the finish line. So, unfortunately for those guys, they are not going to be in the top 3. But, I think that's probably going to do it. We've got our freestyle racers on hold, so we are going to just kind of hold things up for a little while and see what the wind does. Get the latest word from our race director. And in the meantime, we're going to throw to a quick break, and let's maybe see if we can get Brian Lake in here or one of our top.
They're still on the water. They're doing
finishers.
the photo shoots right now.
That's right. They've been beckoned by staff photographer Toby Bromwich to go out and get some shots. So the riders might still be out on the water, but we'll see if we can grab someone, get them here in the booth, to chat to him and hear how it was firsthand out on the course. So stick around. There's more to come. Dave Tarbursky and Adam Jobert here live from St. Peter-Ording, Germany. Don't go anywhere. Don't go anyways. We'll be right back here in just a few short minutes.
Just one more.
Hits its brakes and pops the trunk, says this you got to see. I got chains and diamond rings, 8 tracks and LPs. Do you like my merchandise? Says still that ain't for me. Just give me the beat. That's all I need. Just give me the beat.
Try to break it, try to take your spirit, but I know you gon' make it shit. Listen to the lyrics. You wonder why some people seem to make it, going through life without faking. All I know is I know you're gonna make it, taking it as far as you can take it, take it. True, I am a believer. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I need to, yeah. You know I need to, yeah, 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 yeah.
Center.
All right. Well, Antoine, man, what a day of racing.
That was some awesome action the whole day.
It was. I was actually pinned to my seat this whole time, just in excitement over like the battles that were just happening every race. You know, usually we see just the finals, the tight races and the battles, but there was a lot of action out on the water today. Just jockeying for that coveted third and fourth place spot was where we saw a lot of the action happening, because that's where you make it in the final or you don't. So. But then specifically at the finish line, we saw a lot of action both in the women's and men's fleet. The women, some of the riders running out of water, just that onshore direction with the retreating tide, creating just a real shallow area where you
with
really
a bit of shifting wind. I mean, just takes a few degrees when you set up your course. And at the end of the day, if you get a slight wind shift, anything like that, you can't reset the course every time.
Yeah.
And competitors must just be ready for it.
Yeah, that's true. They some of them clearly were. Some of them clearly pushed it to the edge, and we saw actually some of our finalists in that last men's heat actually just taking it and running aground right there at the finish line. So hopefully their boards are still in one piece, and they'll be able to use them as we continue on through our slalom throughout the week. We are going to wrap it up for today. That's going to be it for our slalom broadcast. We're still got our fingers crossed that the wind will come up and perhaps we'll get some freestyle heats underway. But if that's not the case, tomorrow the forecast looks really good, doesn't it?
Forecast looks excellent for tomorrow. I'm looking at Wind Finder right now, and I think they're calling for about 20 18 to 21 for most of the day, so that's 9, 10, 12 meter weather,
All right.
depending on the rider. So we're gonna have action all day pretty much. You'll be able to turn on your computer at any time during the day and watch some kite surfing.
Yeah, well, that is a wonderful thing that's going to be able to be the case tomorrow. But we don't want to count our chickens before they hatch. We'll wait to see what tomorrow brings. So in the meantime, this is Dave Tyberski and Antoine Jobert signing off from St. Peter-Ording and saying thanks for being with us, and join us tomorrow.
All right.
Take it easy.
Just one more.
Hits its brakes and pops the trunk, says this you got to see. I got chains and diamond rings, 8 tracks and LPs. Do you like my merchandise? Says still that ain't for me. Just give me the beat. That's all I need. Just give me the beat.